useful homeopathic medicines. Now, this is the most the slide which everyone likes the most. Medicines. What are the homeopathic medicines that we should go for in this? See, I am not saying these are the only medicines. This list is not the end of the list of medicines, but these are the medicines which I have found frequently helpful in my practice. And out of these, many medicines, many homeopaths, many groups, they are using and they have got very good results. So please don't take it as the only medicines. In homeopathy, if indications are there, you can definitely have to give that medicine on individualization, on the symptom similarity. But these are the medicines. If you consider the symptoms and similar medicine, these medicines are definitely ranking. But this list is just an indicative, and which I have found useful in my practice. See, I was telling you regarding Ferrum Phos. Ferrum Phos was, you have seen, was prescribed in many cases. Why? Because if you read through Materia Medica, it's a primary medicine of inflammation. It's a primary medicine for any febrile condition. But it is very important for a medicine for febrile condition before the exudation sets in. It is a medicine for catral affections of respiratory system. So if you don't get any particular symptom, don't get any peculiar symptom, this medicine you can use as a baseline medicine. Prescribe this, and definitely that inflammations can be taken care of, at least in the early stage where patient that exudation has not yet started. Very well known, proven remedy in this epidemic. Even if you consider present weather, when the days are hot, nights are cold, even before this month, before 2 months, then present time, along with body ache, along with thirst, there is dryness. Dryness is prevailing. Dryness is well marked. Patient says that there is dryness in my throat. Whole track I feel dry, and that's why it is the very unique characteristic of bryonia, and that's why many doctors, they pronounce it, instead of bryonia, they pronounce it as dryonia. So you have to keep this in mark. Typical thirst is there, large quantity at long interval, that is definitely there in the patient. Next is gelsemium, another important medicine for influenza, and another medicine which is even important for post-influenzal sequelae. Weakness, lethargy, sleepiness, the picture is totally reversed than that of arsenic. Thirstless, fever with chill, patient may feel chill. Another important medicine is Eupatorium perfoliatum, where headache is very marked, vomiting is there, thirst is there, like bryonia. They do not have heaviness, they have headache, and headache along with orbital pain. That is Eupatorium. In bryonia and Eupatorium, many a times, symptoms run parallel. There is body ache, there is headache, there is thirst, similar kind of, even both are there for important indicated remedies for influenza. But bryonia normally wants to remain quiet. Bryonia does not want to get disturbed. Whereas Eupatorium is little bit restless. So this is the difference. Moxol, if we study the genus Epidemicus at the time of swine flu, this is also a variety of flu, influenza, which is leading to pneumonia. Then it was Moxol, especially with throat complaints, especially with the chill. If you get to see the objective symptoms of oral cavity, you can decide for Moxol. Very important remedy for all inflammatory pathologies, whether it is in throat, whether it is in renal, whether it is in anywhere you get inflammation, there is belladonna. But the only thing is that the onset has to be very rapid, very sudden, very violent, with usually high grade fever. Patient will not come with the low grade fever, or patient will not come with very gradual onset, suddenness, rapidness, violent. Along with in the acute phase, in the fever phase, usually they are thirstless, and typical characteristic craving that they are having is lemon water or lemonade. In this epidemic, each and every one is fond of lemon. So it is belladonna if you get these symptoms. Arsenicum album, another important medicine for this epidemic. where weakness or prostration is prevailing. Anxiety is marked. See, corona positive patient has this fear and anxiety. If I am positive, either I will get hospitalized or I'll be no more. So it is anxiety and fear. Thirst is very typical of arsenic, small quantity at frequent interval. GIT affections are there, and one more important clinical pathological point is high ESR. Phosphorus, when the case has traveled to the deeper aspect, lung involvement is there, typical cough is there, even patient has pneumonia and patient has expectoration, clear cut rusty expectoration of pneumonia, that will come. But before that, patient will complain about throat affection. And what kind of throat affection or symptom? Phosphorus patient, they typically tell you something like kali bichromicum. They feel that something is sticking inside and I need to clear off by hawking or by continuously clearing my throat. So this is typical of phosphorus. Lachesis, left-sided affections, hot patient with fever, the sleep disturbance, which is very much marked, and all the complaints normally they will have before they go to sleep or once they just going for sleep. So this is regarding lachesis, sleep into and sleep after aggravation. That is what lachesis. With that fixity, suspicion, how something will happen. So this is what is lachesis. Antimonium tartaricum. These all are very important medicines. When the case is progressing, when the lung is getting involved into little deeper level, loose cough. Patient do not have that much vitality to cough that flame out. There will be drowsiness, there will be weakness, there will be sleepiness. Patient is feeling better when he lies on right side. See, this data we can very well confirm in the hospitalized patient. Those who are on oxygen, those who are lying on some particular side and their oxygen level improves, we can definitely find this particular symptoms importance. There will be rattling noise. There is noise in the chest. Then antim-tart is there. Along with that, there is depletion of oxygen, much increase of carbonic acid. Ipecac, similarly like that of antimonium tartaricum, rattling, loose cough, but there is thirstlessness. There is nausea. We know these all symptoms. If you happen to see the tongue, please see the tongue. Antimonium is always coated tongue. Ipecac is usually with clean tongue. As we had seen in that case of Ahmedabad patient, Justicia was prescribed. Justicia is basically again a medicine. If you see rubric wise, it is for loss of smell and taste along with cough. And cough is usually productive. Or patient has that loose cough. Even in dry cough, you can prescribe. It has mucolytic property, which loosens up mucus. So patient can expel that out easily. Baptisia, if you go through Materia Medica, it is written that it is for epidemic influenza. If it is in epidemic influenza, you will get symptoms like that of typhoid, mainly gastric fever, similar like that of arsenic. But here it is much prostration, toxic weakness, and along with that, there is severe offensiveness of all the discharges. Then it is Baptisia, you can think. Next medicine would be Carbovage. We cannot help our patients, those who are hospitalized, without this medicine. In Materia Medica, it is written, it is cough reviver, last end stage medicine. When depletion of oxygen is there, cyanosis is there, coldness or extremity is there, patient is almost going, patient is losing his vitality, lack of oxidation, patient cannot able to breathe, he has to breathe forcefully. So this is the time your Carbovage comes into the picture. Podophyllum has a very limited sphere in this when GIT affections are there and when it is accompanied with diarrhea. Typical symptoms of Podophyllum, if you are having with COVID positive or with GIT, then you can go for Podophyllum. Similarly, Veratrum album. Veratrum album has larger sphere. Along with diarrhea, there will be colic, vomiting, patient is into shock, patient is feeling weakness. There is liking for cold things. More GIT affections along with weakness, along with fever, go for Veratrum album. More respiratory symptoms along with GIT, along with depletion of oxygen, rapid pulse, and more of respiratory. Select Veratrum viridi. It is again a medicine which will help when the oxygen level is falling. more respiratory complaints are there. Very important medicine when extreme fear of death, like arsenic. This medicine has panic in their mind, fear. And this fear of death is associated with symptom of COVID. Any symptom, when this fear of death, uncontrollable fear of death is associated, it is aconite. Usually it increases, or when it is given on only this state of mind, it helps increasing oxygen. Why? Because we know that the system, this is basically, this fear is acting through psychoneuroendocrine axis. Fear in mind through this axis will reflect on the most peripheral areas. So this is very important to keep in mind. Why your patient is suffering from what? If you know the cause, if you know the pathogenesis, your prescriptions can be made more clear and effective. Another medicine that I have found useful in my practice is pyrogen. See, pyrogen is specifically I am using when there is high fever with high CRP, or when there is a typical, this relationship we all know, if fever and pulse do not match each other, if there is 99 or 100 fever and pulse is 120, if fever is 102 and pulse is 90. So this is what is mismatched pulse and temperature. Pyrogen is very important. Another thing I have observed in the cases of pyrogen with fever, that patient becomes loquacious. Their verbal activity increases when the fever attack is there. So then you can think about this medicine. Next medicine is sulfur. Sulfur you can use like tuberculinum if you have given the medicine indicated remedy, but that medicine is not acting. When well selected remedy has failed to produce the desired result, either you can select sulfur or tuberculinum based on the symptom. This is intercurrent to break the fever pattern. Next is Kalimur. In the earlier cases, we had discussed that Kalimur 6 was added to the patient with high D dimer. It was basically, if you read from Boger's Materia Medica, synoptic key by Dr. Boger, coagulation and fibrin. This is the area where it is very, very important for Kalimur. It prevents coagulation, and along with that, it also prevents fibrous tissues formation. So it is definitely helpful in the secondary pathology or secondary complications. Kali carb, like Kali Mure only, this potassium group is very important for post-COVID complaints, post-COVID hypoxia, fibrotic changes, and weakness. But as I have told you, it should be prescribed on the symptoms of Kali carb, keeping this pathology in mind. See, if you read read the literature where our master has written, no case of lung ulcer can be recovered completely without this medicine, Kali carb. Lung ulcer means when the pathology is so destructive, lung is so much so damaged, and then if you want reversible changes to take place, this medicine is important. So on that ground, you can keep this medicine in mind. Next medicine would be Crotalus horridus. See, it's a snake poison, medicine prepared from snake venom. It is usually prescribed for all coagulatory disorders. It is prescribed for the blood disorganizing of blood where high D dimer is there, and to prevent clotting and thrombosis. See, if you study snake poison, if you study snake venom's effects on the body, all snake venoms are vasculotoxic, neurotoxic, and cardiotoxic. So when you study the action of this action of Crotalus can be understood very well. So this is also our medicine for when the pathological report is showing high D dimer and chances of thrombosis. Sternum mat, patient is so weak, unable to speak, weakness is so much so there, patient cannot talk even in regular tone, they can only whisper. That is what is the prostrations level, and then sternum is in the picture. This is I've used in few patients where they are completely recovered. Even if you check their oxygen level, it is absolutely fine. It is lobelia inflata. For psychogenic dyspnea, patient becomes hyperventilated, patient becomes breathless. Even it is written in Materia Medica that even they become cynosed. But when you check, auscultation is absolutely clear, chest is absolutely clear. Even they have anxiety about health from heart or respiratory disease. It is basically psychogenic, lobelia inflata. Now, the thing that I have told you, our another important role comes in post-COVID complaints or post-COVID complications. Weakness after recovery. This is post-influenzaal weakness, post-pneumonia weakness. When pneumonia is maltreated and patient, it is something that your system is not still yet cleared from that obnoxious influence. China, 5-4-6-6 in biochemic, Natrum salicylicum, Alstonia, Abrotenum, Tinospora, this Gelsemium, this all Califos, this all are important. Tinospora is nothing, I think, but it's a Indian remedy, Giloy. So this is all medicine which you can use for weakness after recovery. Gelsemium is one of the very important medicine, as well as Natrum salicylicum. I prescribed that to that comorbid patient. Loss of appetite, bound to happen. China, it is as usual there with weakness. Along with China, another important medicine is alpha-alpha for loss of appetite and loss of weight. Sleeplessness, post-COVID insomnia, Avena sativa is very important. Irritating cough that remains for weeks after recovering from this. Sticta is one of the important medicine. If you get this type of symptom, and along with that, if you get symptoms of Sticta, you can think of. And as I have told you, sulfur can be prescribed as intercurrent remedy, that this sequelae is remaining after patient is recovering from COVID. Kali Carb is again, as I have told you in that, what Dr. Hahnemann, our master's advice, this medicine, without this, we cannot get complete recovery. So irritating cough, constipation, because of use of so many remedies, patient develops constipation, patient's appetite is also down, not eaten nutritious food, and patient had constipation. When constipation is leading to piles and patient is still on blood thinner, it is not a welcoming feature. We don't want that kind of thing to happen. So to relieve such constipation after abuse of medicine, Nux vomica comes into the picture. Post-COVID or post-remedy or post-medicine, acidity with gas, stomach is bad, not getting it clear. So flatulence, acidity, rancid eructations because of the medicines, because of the food that did not digested well. Carbovage is important. Cardiac troubles, post-lung infection. If you study arsenic and if you study iodine specifically, how rapidly it affects, how rapidly it destroys the lung, and due to affecting lung, due to pulmonary troubles, it may cause effect into the right heart. There it is important. Arsenic iodine has very important role to play. But if the symptoms which are matching, muscle soreness, myalgia, simple. Natrum salicylicum is a medicine. You can think about even Abrotenum. You can think even about your Califos. But along with that, if muscle soreness is there, myalgia is there, Arnica is of unquestionable help. And when you are giving Arnica, you must also keep in mind, it will also help as an anticoagulant. This is definitely helping your patient whom you don't want to put. I am not saying it is a replacement of, but it will act as an anticoagulant for maltreated pneumonia. I am not saying it is intentionally maltreated, but many a times, if patient is recovering, patient has to get discharged from the hospital, where patient is not asked to keep in hospital, to stay in hospital for a month. So when patient, when he is recovering, he is sent home, but when he is not recovering fully, medicines which are important is Lycopodium, very important. Maltreated pneumonia, where patient develops post pneumonia, hypoxia, exertional dyspnea, where patient even may develop pulmonary thromboembolism later on. It may go into fibrotic changes. Even post-COVID lung complications, we have Kali Carb, very important. And if the pneumonia is of psychotic origin, where you get all psychotic symptoms in patient, don't forget Natrum sulf. It is also one of the very important medicine. Shock due to death, post-COVID complication, irreversible. If the person is gone forever, big loss to the family, irreplaceable. But in this shock, in this condition, to help patients' relatives, psychological aspect, you can help with Ignatia and Natrum Mule. But if there are certain incidences where in a same family, many members succumb to COVID. Deaths one after the other. And in that case, apart from Ignatia and Natromure, you can think about Embragrisia. Another medicine is carcinosin, where repeated deaths are taking place. So this is also very important. We must give, see, these are all differentiating points. You can give Ignatia, but if suppose if Ignatia is not holding up, Ignatia is not giving you the result, then what to do? You should have the second line ready. Embragrisia is another. Carcinosin, as I told you, another. All cases which were affected by this virus, its impression, not physical, but dynamic, the noxious influence and sequelae, to relieve that, to remove that, to completely annihilate that. Sulfur, influenzinum, soranum, and tuberculinum. These are the medicines we can think of depending upon the symptoms of that particular medicine. Influenzinum is a nosode, soranum, tuberculinum, they are the nosode, and that you can think when you want to remove the sequelae. Patient may say, sir, I have this complaint since that time when I was admitted or I had COVID infection.